Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Thursday, April 27th, 2023. We have a few birthdays and we have a few events. So let's dive headfirst into those few events that I've pulled up. 1986 on this date, Ricky Rudd wins the Spring Martinsville race. This was a race of incredible attrition. It was Mike Skinner's Cup Series debut, driving for a team known as Zandworth Racing, and they actually carried the in-car camera for SETN, Special Events Television Network, for this race. Excuse me. Alan Quickie got his first career top 5 finish, a 4th place finish. And Buddy Arrington was on par to have a 3rd or 4th place finish before his engine blew late in the race. Go check out the results on racingreference.info. It was the most jumbled top 10 in the entire 1986 season. On this date in 1991, in Lanier, Georgia, in the Busch Series, David Green won. And, future Busch Series champion, not surprising. He is a rookie during 1991, but second, third place finishers also rookies. Jeff Gordon and Mike Wallace. So that was the first time in Busch Series history, and to my knowledge, the only time that the top 3 finishers were all Rookie of the Year candidates. 1997 on this date in Monaco. Now we're moving up in the world. Monaco for the the Monaco Grand Prix. Monte Carlo is where it's at. But the Monaco Grand Prix. Heinz Harald Frentzen wins his first career F1 race. I vaguely remember this, watching parts of it, highlights, whatever. In 2008, of course, this was brought up after Kyle's win a couple weeks ago, or last week at Talladega, that had been 15 years since Kyle won. This was the race that Kyle won at Talladega on this date. I believe Juan Pablo Montoya was second. I remember watching bits and pieces of that race. Don't really have a lot of recollection, but that was what they were all talking about. So we have 3 birthdays with cards that we will get to here shortly. But with that, the first couple that we do not have birthdays with, born on this date in 1933, you guys have heard this name before, Bob Bondurant, high-performance driving school instructor and road racer. Dale Earnhardt was one of them that went to the Bob Bondurant School and learned how to get around places like Sears Point, Watkins Glen a lot better. I believe Jeff Gordon went out there and a few others, Tony Stewart probably. So Bob Bondurant, born on this date in 1933. Born on this date in 1962. You might not have heard of this driver, and the closest person I can compare him to in terms of on-track performance is somebody like a Cody Ware. Born on this date in 1962, Kirk Bryant. Kirk was originally a competitor in the Cup Series in 1986 for Rookie of the Year. Horrible stats. Go back and look at it. I double-checked it myself. He ran 4 races for Cliff Stewart's number 2 team. 3 of the 4 races he crashed out, and the other race he finished, I believe it was 19th at Rockingham, and there was only 23 cars that finished that race, 23 out of 40. He just had a horrible time. He did win an ARCA race the year before in Atlanta, and for some reason, and even to this day, somebody wins an ARCA race. Oh, they're the next superstar. Let's move them up. His dad was legendary crew chief Darrell Bryant, so there may have been some connections there. And again, furniture magnate. Cliff Stewart was the car owner. This was the team that Rusty had driven for the last 2 seasons. So Kirk Bryant just was horrible. If there was a crash, it was going to happen. Kirk was going to get in it. So let's get to our birthdays with cards. Born on this date in 1992. I only have a few cards of this guy, but I'll probably continue to add these to my little stack here as I continue to pull them. Mr. Garrett Smithley. And I kind of look at him as one of these guys, have helmet, will race. And you're going to see just an amalgamation of uniforms and teams and whatnot here. And I think if he could get a shot in a good, steady ride, Garrett could be a contender for top 10s, top 15s, regardless of what series he races in. Got a chance to meet him at Indy a few times. Seems like a really likable fella and just needs a chance. Just somebody put him in a good car. Born on this date in 1999. I've got more inserts than I do base of this person, but that is what it is. Miss Brittney Zamora. I don't know a lot about her racing background. I know she's raced in the West Series. I know she's raced ARCA a couple times. Don't know what other divisions that she's raced in, but she is heavily featured in the Panini sets. So we're just going through and showing some of the random. Got the White Sparkle, probably the highest value card of all these, but still kind of super cool. Excuse me. Apologize. I just cannot get rid of this cough, and I've been mowing all day, so certainly didn't help. And our final birthday, we see this guy almost every day on the channel, so we're going to see him again. Born on this day in 1990, Mr. Austin Dillon. So I've kind of got some random uniform cards here and then some car cards here. That uniform very is similar to the Goodwrench uniform. If you go back and look at some of Dale's uniforms with the black and the red trim and everything, definitely styled after the Goodwrench uniform, I believe. American Ethanol, one of his sponsors. There he is early on with the cowboy hat, of course. Truck Series days here. Fanfare. So we got some press pass mingled in here with some Panini stuff. 50th anniversary of RCR. And I'd forgot when I was putting this together that Dow Chemical had sponsored him. And there's a look at one of the earlier Bass Pro uniforms. Then we do have some car cards. Of course, this is Nationwide, now Xfinity. And I'd forgot that he had Advocare on his car. Then the Bass Pros. Bass Pro's one of those sponsors that just, you know, here, let's slap a logo on your car. There's a nice look at the Dow car. Another look at the Dow car, but with the playoff, the monster green. So you got the valences green or the splitter. Green band across the top and the green spoiler. So some of the cars that looked really good, some of the cars that looked hideous. There's another look at the Dow car. Got the Bass Pro tracker. I pulled this one because it did have the truck. Then Cheerios, he ran that one of his first few races. And I do remember that he did run like a Bob Levine car, and he did run Tony Stewart's car a few times, but didn't have any of those. There's the Candy Cane cars a lot of people refer to it as. And then the black and gold car, the throwback to Richard Childress. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, a lot of fun going back, and like I said, it's fun to go back in these because I get to remember things that I have forgotten about, just like I forgot he had that Dow and the Advocare sponsorships. So anyway, happy birthday to everyone. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll have something to rip and hopefully not coughing so much. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow.